Welcome to Odd Musings with, what's the name?
Scott and Brett.
You heard him.
All right.
I'm D. Snyder.
And welcome to Odd Musings Live, episode 156 this week. Kind of kicking it off fun, yeah. I love this new video I did, and I'm not trying to tout me is because I did this, the video, but I love seeing the pictures of our adventures these last few years, tied into not just Odd Musings, but also the artwork and travels we've done, and getting ready to travel again here soon. Creating our continuing the Odd Musings, creating the new Bardstone publishing banner. And everything that we're doing, and it's just really cool looking at those pictures. I was looking at the one that it's you and I sitting there when we did the podcast from Universal, and Universal opened back up today for pass holders. They did a pass holder preview, and I've seen some pictures pop up online. They're doing the social distancing, wearing masks. They have an area over in what they call Central Park that is sign up as you can remove your mask here, keep social distance. It's kind of there's no rides or anything right there, so it's kind of an open area so people can just kind of hang out and rest or whatever. And they're doing virtual queues, so you're not standing in line the whole time. So, and I know this is all just for current climate temporary, and I know eventually it will go back to normal as things have calmed down and the COVID moves on or whatever happens with that, or whether they have a vaccine or whatever in the next few months and that. But I think it's cool to see things opening back up, because Michigan's opening back up next week, 50%. We get to have 50% capacity at restaurants.
Yay! About time.
Yep.
That'll be good.
Yeah, and still no haircuts though. We got to wait 2 to 3 weeks for that, she said. So she's just gangbusters on nobody else besides herself getting her hair dyed.
Yeah, I guess it's only us and New Jersey. What's funny is she has issued a statement saying we are now allowed to take our mask off while we're eating at restaurants. Which is nice of her, since she was shown on camera the second she dropped the stay at home up north. She was in a restaurant, zero mask.
Yeah.
So it's interesting how that works.
Yep. So, but we're not a political show, so we're not gonna get too much into that. But
Nope.
we do have some
fun.
We do have some ads and that stuff we got to take care of real quick. So why don't you start off with Team Titans today, and
all right,
we'll go from
I got
there.
us up there. If you could share it.
Yeah,
there we are. Team Titans of Real Estate. This is our website, teamtitansofrealestate.com. That's one area you can find us in. And as you can see, we got all kinds of bells and whistles on this site. The fun one, search the MLS. That one there, you click on there, you can set up your own search criteria. We even have a password protected account you can set up for yourself, so you can keep track of houses in your area or anywhere you like to keep track of houses. If you don't want to do it this way, we also have an awesome, powerful app that you can download on your phone. Just let us know. We'll forward you the link. It's a nice way, even if you're not looking to buy or sell a house. If you just want to track the values in your neighborhood, you can do that. And one of the things that's funny we come across all the time is people are thinking about selling, and they'll be like, "Well, my neighbor down the street sold for $500,000 more than what you're saying," and and then we pull up the actual closing. We're like, they kind of lied. That's not what it sold for. It happens all the time. But having this app, you'll know what it closes for once it actually closes. When it's pending, we don't know the details, but it goes public once it closes. So when you talk to that neighbor who tells you they sold their house for $500,000 more than everyone else in the neighborhood, you could pull it up yourself and be like, maybe not, but you'll know. But it keeps your finger on the pulse of the real estate in your area. Another fun thing about the app, let's say you're thinking about moving, or you're on vacation in Florida. Maybe you're going to Orlando for Universal's opening, and you're like, it'd be nice to have a second home down here. You can open that up down there too, the app, and you can see what is currently for sale in that area. And if there's open houses in the area, you could pull up the open houses and go check them out just for fun while you're down in that area. So it's a powerful tool. It works nationwide, and you just gotta let us know, and we'll send you the link. You put it right on your phone, easy to do. So you can give me a call, 586-549-6096, or Jill Webler, 586-277-2145. And there you have it.
Very cool. Now, the thing is, I found out with the MLS is it does not give me the Major League Soccer score, so I was a little disappointed there.
No, not Major League Soccer. Unless you're in Europe. I think in Europe, maybe. I don't know.
Why I'm getting them on the radio. It's funny. They have nothing to give for scores.
Although there they would call it Major League Football, I think.
I forget what they call it. They mentioned they use it interchangeably over there anymore. But I've been getting scores on when I listen to the Bob and Tom show while working on Mondays. They give the weekend scores from the German soccer league that's going on right now. So that's kind of funny. And hearing that, it's like, and I know none of these. I know some of these names from cities, but I don't know any of these teams. So it's kind of funny.
Right.
That. And then another one of our great sponsors, I was just there yesterday, Larger Family Chiropractic, where your journey to wellness begins here. You can help build a healthy lifestyle with chiropractic care. They offer on-site digital x-rays, massage therapy, which just started back up June 1st, orthotics by foot levelers, young living essential oils, aromatherapy, full line of items, all in a family-oriented environment. Located in Belleville, Michigan, and Dexter, Michigan. You can give them a call, 734-697-4244. You can visit them online at LaurierFamilyChiropractic.com. We do have a link at oddmusings.com for you there. I did not bring up their website this time. I got a different click over here, so I'm just going to leave that off for now. But definitely check them out. I go every week because of my needs. You don't always have to go every week. Everything changes for everybody. They work with you on what your needs are. It's nice to see that the massage therapy is back since the governor is allowing that again. Because massage, more than just, people like them just to feel good, it's relaxing. So it does have a lot of health benefits. I plan on scheduling one because I have had bought a, no, that's not it, but here it is. I've got a gift certificate. They do gift certificates there. So I have mine ready to go. See, massage gift certificate. So, and I plan on getting a massage here pretty soon because there's a lot of therapeutic help with massages. Helps keep the blood flowing, helps work in conjunction with the chiropractic care to keep you healthy and well during these times of the COVID. And that, so definitely check out Larger Family Chiropractic. So, and that's a great awesome. And I just want to mention too, currently at this time, Stony Creek Hemp is not a sponsor of the show. We still love and appreciate them. I've been by that area a couple times. They're getting ready to plant. I've been seeing stuff online and wanted to wish Justin and his wife congratulations. They had their baby boy, and his name is
congrats.
His name is Harkness, and I don't have the exact dimensions with me, but when I saw it, he's a big boy. So congratulations to Justin Room and his wife, and we'll definitely see them again as a sponsor in the future, but we definitely still like the Stony Creek Hemp, so definitely check them out online at StonyCreekHemp.com for all the products you need, because we still use them to this day, and I will continue to use them even if they're not sponsoring our show, because it's a great product and great company.
That's right. They do. I always want to quote the Frank's Red Hot commercial. Put them. I put that stuff on everything.
Yeah, I think the latest one was I put that bleep on everything.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking. Yep.
That's a great commercial.
Good times.
So, yeah.
Yes.
So I was mentioning to Scott before we got on air. I just finished watching Doom Patrol on the HBO Max, and it aired first on the DC streaming, which looks like that's still going on. I think you can still get the DC one because they've got stuff on there not on HBO yet. I'm hoping they port Titans over so I can check that out. But I got to tell you, I was blown away by Doom Patrol. I'm not going to get into any of it. Not going to talk about it right now, but I just want to say check it out if you get a chance. It was a great series. Definitely more adultish in terms of the language, especially. So it would definitely be rated R because of language. But there's some definitely
our friend Dominic over at Echo Network. He was a huge fan of Doom Patrol. He first told us about it.
Yep. So and we got Kevin chiming in. Hello, fellas, and of course Connie, the Comic-Con mom. So
woo! They're both in the house. That's good.
Yep. And we just got a new air conditioner, so we're now nice and cool.
Oh, that's nice. Nice. Now regarding Doom Patrol. DC had a couple series come out. Are they all independent of each other, or are they creating their own shared universe? Anything like that? I
don't know. That I've not been able to find out. I know they had Swamp Thing on for one season. They canceled it. I know it's available on DVD Blu-ray. I saw it in the store the other day. And but I definitely want to see that because I heard it was really good. But there's rumors that could end up on the CW and continue on from there, which would be interesting considering I was still following Stargirl, and Stargirl has some similarities to the other Arrowverse shows, but it's got its own thing going on with they're trying to rebuild the Justice Society of America, and I kind of like that aspect they're going on.
Right.
So it's creating its own universe. I assume they're a different Earth than the other ones. Because they've not really mentioned them. They only mentioned the Justice Society and then the evil side that they have going on.
That is one part of the DC stuff that is convenient in a good way, is they can make everything separate, but if they ever want to unify them, they just say, oh, it's a different Earth.
Yes.
So it's a very easy, just some time portal opens up, a rift between time and space, and poof, Flash comes through and everybody's unified again. So so they can always do crossovers if they ever choose to.
Right. And that gives them that way to do that. And I like the fact that the Justice Society they're showing, because a third episode, you actually get to see their headquarters a little bit and see who they were. The Flash, it was classic Flash. It's classic Green Lantern, prior to Hal Jordan. So it's the older Justice Society from the 40s and 50s that we knew, but it was in more modern time.
When is DC going to take advantage of that building in Cincinnati and do a live action Hall of Justice? The building is there.
Well, I mean, building it there was just the inspiration for the animated cartoon in the 70s. So
yeah, didn't the guy sit across the street and it was like his view out the window?
I think that's what it was originally. He grew up. Someone grew up there, I think is what it was, and they knew it. So they just turned that into what became the Hall of Justice for the Super Friends, and became very iconic. So it's definitely an interesting thing. So
now,
definitely like that.
While we're talking about DC and HBO Max, I'm curious to see if this turns out, because the DC universe, movie cinematic universe, was pretty much dead. I mean, Henry Cavill was going off on Superman, Ben Affleck. Now they're doing this Snyder cut. Now we're hearing there might be a Bird of Prey cut, Suicide Squad cut by David Ayers. And now there's talk that now Henry Cavill is in talks to come back as Superman in another DC movie, which I'm guessing is going to be the Black Adam movie, but I don't know.
Which would be pretty cool.
I'm just wondering, will this resurrect?
I got my HBO Max up here, so I was just kind of looking real quick, see if anything popped up.
I'm just wondering, will this resurrect the old DC universe and save it? What HBO Max is doing?
I think that what it's going to do is what I noticed, like with Stargirl. So originally we had talked the last couple of years of Jeff Johns kind of helming everything. Well, he's definitely helming Stargirl. He wrote the first couple episodes and he's executive producing it. So he's definitely overseeing it. But yeah, they got a lot of the movies up here. They have Batwoman up here. Just looking to see what so they have this series for Batwoman, which I don't know. I'm kind of turned off now that she left, just because I'm like, well, they're going to change it up again, so it doesn't matter. But they have all
might as well wait for season 2.
Yeah, but they have all the different movies up here that they've done, even going back to the original Supergirl from the 80s with Helen Slater, and then a lot of the Batman.
Helen Slater, nice. Yeah.
So a lot of the animated stuff. I think what we hopefully will see, because this is where with AT&T, HBO, Warner Brothers basically all being owned together. It's all the same company now. They should work together in harmony. What DC's done and the movie side has done wrong with Warner Brothers is Warner Brothers has always kept them separate, and they need to start working in conjunction with them in the long run. It would be much better, because you've got this Doom Patrol, great series. You got characters there. You don't have to throw them into a feature-length movie, but you can tie them in different ways. The CW stuff now, that could be a separate contract now, but part of CW was Warner Brothers. So I assume they still have control of it, because they've got like Batgirl there. We'll see the other ones pop up eventually when the contracts with Netflix are done to have them on those that streaming service. But if they tie it all together, they want to do a Snyder cut. I'll watch the Snyder cut once. I saw Justice League and I didn't like it story-wise. I didn't like Batman vs. Superman story-wise. There's things I liked about it. There's things visually I liked about it and stuff like that. It's just they're always trying to do way too much. I want to see them reel things in and start creating good series. I mean, Wonder Woman was great because it was a good story. I'm excited to see Wonder Woman 1984 because I liked the first one. I'm hoping they can continue telling a good story.
Right. But even as we talked about before,
Yeah.
what we really think made Wonder Woman so great was that the studio kind of dismissed it, and they were so focused on Justice League.
Mhm.
Patty Jenkins was actually able to make a movie her way instead of having the studio put their hands in the pot. And my only fear, I'm looking forward to 1984 Wonder Woman,
Mhm.
but my fear is because the first Wonder Woman did so well, is the studio now going to put their hands in the pot? I hope
Right.
they gave Patty Jenkins the control that she already proved that she can handle it without them. So let her
Yep.
have that freedom.
Right, and I agree with that. That's where you see different from the TV series. The TV series have been, in my opinion, better than the movies for DC, especially like they're animated. You look at the animated stuff; it's way better because they don't care on that
Yeah.
side of it. They think, "Oh, who cares? It's just this," but they're telling better stories, and that's why they're making a mint off the animated stuff coming out. It's always selling. People are always talking about it way
Yeah.
more than the movies.
For me,
Yeah.
also DC's games are awesome. The Arkham games are phenomenal. For me, the
Yeah.
Arkham games are the definitive vision of superhero world. It's like 60% reality mixed with 40% fantasy, and I love that look. And I wish they would make a full length movie using the people who are creating the games, because the
Yes.
way they do the action scenes, the look of the characters, just for me, that is like the pinnacle of superheroism
Yeah, I played the first
in media.
Batman Arkham game all the way through, and I loved it. It was great. The visuals were
Oh yeah,
fantastic. It was a great story. The interpretation of Joker and Harley Quinn, which actually that Harley Quinn took off real quick and has been the epitome of who Harley Quinn
right.
is since then. And yeah, it was great. And that's again, they allowed them to have their freedom to tell a good story within the game.
Right.
And same thing with
The
series.
other thing too is
Yeah.
with movies going that route, voice actors can play a role for
Mhm.
decades, and the CGI version of the character, you don't have to worry about them aging. And that's one of the things with superheroes in comic books and stuff. They're just always there, you know. And so you're not limited. So if somebody really loves a version like Kevin Conroy, doesn't matter what Kevin Conroy looks like. It's his voice that is the character.
Right, and
So
he came back to it here in a couple of the recent stuff they've done.
mhm.
There's been talk of bringing back the Batman the animated series again. They've re-released that
I
a
love
couple
that
times.
series.
Yeah, they just came out with a Blu-ray last year of it, so it's a high definition version of it. They've
Nice.
got it. I believe they got it up on this HBO Max. The thing was, if they could start getting good, and hopefully Jeff Johns is going to be handling the movie side too, get a cohesive story. The problem I always has, like when they came out with Man of Steel, I enjoyed it. Yes, it was a different Superman, but I enjoyed it. It was a good launching platform. But then they had to go right into just jumping like what should have been 4 or 5 movies later into the Batman versus Superman Dawn of Justice, Justice League. And the only reason was, and we talked about this on air many times over our episodes, is they wanted the Avengers money. Well, the problem with that is the Avengers built up several movies to get to that point, and they allowed that to happen and build these
weren't they
characters
like
up.
8 or 10 movies? What was it?
It was about
movies
6.
or
It was 6 or 7 movies, and before you get to that,
Yeah.
But you had, Iron Man had a couple movies, and then they introduced Thor. They had another Incredible Hulk movie, and then I'm forgetting here. We got Black Widow's introduced. Captain America had a movie.
First Avenger.
They brought him back, and that helped set up the Avengers. And once they knew where they were going with that, because originally started, when you see the things that Favreau was working on, and they got to the first Avengers movie, we talk about it set it up, but that's where DC is always wrong. They should have done. You had the Man of Steel. They should have done a second Superman movie like they're talking about doing, but also did a new Batman movie with Affleck. I'd like to have seen Ben Affleck in a movie by himself as Batman to truly see that. All we saw was just Batman versus Superman, and a lot of it was like, well, this is why he did this, so now I'm mad, so I'm going to go and destroy him. And that should have been built up in a separate Batman movie in itself to get to that point through the next Superman. And from there. So
and I really wish they had gone with the storyline that already existed through Kevin Smith.
Yes,
Kevin Smith wrote that. That was what I read it, and it was like, this is it. This is the definitive Batman versus Superman storyline. They should have gone with it. They didn't. And like you said, they rushed it. Everything along the way they rushed.
Yeah.
Birds of Prey. I keep saying Birds of Prey. Suicide Squad. That was a stupid movie to release. They should have waited. That should have every single one of those villains. should have waited until they all had an appearance against a different superhero as the main bad guy, so we got to know them as bad guys. And then after everyone did their story arcs and they're all arrested and in jail, then Suicide Squad happens
Yeah.
to bust them out. Now we have a relationship with these characters. We know them as true bad guys. You know, instead they just jumped into the storyline, just forced it. Instead of letting it mature and develop and become something amazing, you know.
Well, that fell into the whole, the bad guys are the heroes mentality. We've been seeing a lot of stuff,
Right.
and the problem is
the criticism
Yeah.
Marvel always has is they don't do a good job developing their bad guys. But the movies are about the heroes, and guess
Yes.
what? They develop their heroes. DC has the opposite problem. Their bad guys always overshadow their heroes.
Yeah. And that's what I would like to have seen. That's why and Suicide Squad didn't work for me on a lot of levels. There's things I liked about it, but most of it didn't work. And in fact, they didn't. It's like, oh, here's the stuff they did real quick, and it doesn't really matter because we're going to put them together as a team to now battle a bigger bad, and it just didn't work. It was like, no. And then the second one came out. I have not seen the second one, but it was all about Harley Quinn, and it's like, okay, or not, it was Suicide Squad, it was the Birds of Prey, but it's a Harley Quinn movie. And then now we've got another Suicide Squad coming out, and I still don't care because they've never developed these characters the proper way.
Oh, there's another one? I didn't even know.
Yeah, Suicide Squad 2 is coming out eventually here. They've been working on that. And the thing is I said this with the Maleficent movie from Disney, is you don't take a good bad guy and make him a good guy. Allow them to be the bad guy, because having a good bad guy in contrast to the good guys works. The reason people still refer to the Michael Keaton Batman movie from 1989 is great because you had a good hero and you had a good bad guy, and it worked together on that.
Right. Yeah, so. It's this fear, I think, that just exists in society as a whole of making something a definitive good and a definitive evil. It's like everything has to be shades of gray, and you have to understand the person's motive, and you have to identify with them. And it's okay to have true good versus true evil. And I think that's where Marvel has always excelled is, like Captain America. He has a true defining moral compass that he follows. And even though the world around him is falling apart and going into darkness, he rises above it and tries to elevate everyone up. Whereas DC, the world is falling apart. The heroes lower themselves to that standard and are dragged down with it. And that's where Wonder Woman works so well, is Wonder Woman was actually more of a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
And that it would have fit perfect into the Marvel cinematic universe.
Well, yeah, and that's we talked about that before when we did the full review of it on an episode way back when.
Right. Now, what I will say with DC too, the movies though, my problem with them is their writing. I love Henry Cavill as Superman, and I'm hoping if he is coming back, and with maybe what's going on with Doom Patrol and these other shows, and with them revisiting and trying to fix things with like the Snyder Cut, and that's the other thing. The Snyder Cut isn't going to truly be the Snyder Cut. It's going to be the Snyder Cut a couple years later, taking into account what fan criticism was.
Yeah.
It wasn't done at the time. So this won't be a true Snyder Cut from back then. Plus, they're going to reshoot a bunch.
I would say they're having to reshoot.
Budget.
They're shooting stuff to add to it, so it's just supposedly stuff from his script. But he's had the chance to go back and revise that script, change things a little bit, and update that. So, and there were things I liked in Justice League. Right, so yeah,
if they do it right, they could resurrect this and make it even more powerful and better. And Marvel right now is at a perfect spot for DC to try to strike. They're kind of at this in-between limbo stage where everything they keep doing is a replay of what they've already done. Even these upcoming series, the Loki series is him in this time loop right now.
Right.
Black Widow, we're assuming happened before this last movie was, and
yeah, it did. Everything I read said it took place in between, where she went back home, and I don't think it really explains anything in terms of what happened, other than here's what she did during this time, and explains more of her backstory. So it's kind of the pseudo origin story for her we've wanted since 2010, really.
Yeah, even Man of Steel. I really liked Man of Steel. The part I hated was what they did to Pa Kent and his upbringing. I just felt like that was what made Superman what he was always his upbringing.
Yep.
And once Pa Kent is like, well, you probably should have let those kids die in the school bus just to keep your identity safe. It's like, okay, that's not Pa Kent.
Yeah.
That's not it.
Well, and there was
at all.
there was a couple of things I didn't really like the podcast, even the end killing Zod like he did. But at the same time, I was like, okay, so this is the direction to go with this Superman. He is going to be a little bit different. He's going to have some different flaws associated with him. That's fine, but they've still never fully continued on with that. And I'd like to have seen that more in the Superman movies, and then Batman movies, and then a Wonder Woman movie, and then start introducing other characters around it and building towards a true Justice League movie. And it would have been great to have. And if they would have done a good Green Lantern, I didn't totally despise the Ryan Reynolds one, but it wasn't written right. Because again, they tried to jump way too fast into it and build it up too much.
They did a whole trilogy in one movie.
Right. So that was part of
the whole trilogy should have been, that entire movie should have been spread out. I mean, the guy, Ryan Reynolds, becomes Green Lantern. And by the end, he single-handedly defeats the major bad guy who defeated the entire Green Lantern Corps by themselves. And it's like, wait a minute, come on.
Yeah.
That should have been a whole trilogy.
Yeah.
But they rushed it because they wanted to get into it.
Yeah, they introduced the Corps, and then supposedly the next Green Lantern movie they keep talking about doing is a Green Lantern Corps movie. And I'm like, no, you haven't built up to it yet. I'm hoping read a little bit. They're talking about doing a series on HBO Max. That would be the way to go. Build up the character. Don't jump them right into the core, but you could start them off and then slowly start introducing different elements to lead up to it. And keep in mind that the different Earth Green Lanterns that end up all being around the same time didn't all pop at the same time. You have to build up to where, Hal Jordan is no longer Green Lantern to bring in like a Guy Gardner or Kyle Rayner and stuff like that. You start introducing them too quickly, and then you have just way too much. And then they set up a great thing for Sinestro, and it would have been cool to see that character as the villain on screen, but they didn't properly continue on with that. So
yeah, Sinestro. Some bad choices were made there.
Yes.
But well, instead of DC, let's talk about another awesome comic book company, Bardstone Publishing.
Yeah.
We had our first successful Kickstarter go on, and it was for Poe Macabre Master. And you see here our Kickstarter campaign. Let's see if I click on that. I think it opens a new window. So yeah, I'll switch out to the actual Poe window.
Okay.
Let's see. Let me say stop share. Where's Poe? Kickstarter Poe. Boom. Here it is. Poe Macabre Master issue number 1 has been successfully funded. So we want to thank everyone. Kevin Miner, he's the creator of this awesome series. If you pledged and you filled out your survey, you check your email. He already sent out the PDF copies, the digital versions of the issue. So
I don't know if he sent that to everybody though. I think it might have been just you and I to take a look at it first. So
okay, well, if you didn't get it yet, just hold on.
A friend of mine who supported the Kickstarter said she didn't get it. So she said, I think it must have been you. Okay, but I think he just wanted us to see it, and it looks great. Oh my god,
it looks gorgeous. Great.
The images are gorgeous. I haven't read the whole thing yet. I'm going to read it, and definitely enjoy that. I'm looking forward to actually. As I told Kevin, I texted him right away. I said, "Looks great. I can't wait to physically hold it in my hand because I just am so amazed at it." And this was a fun Kickstarter to help kick off Bardstone. And I'm really glad that the success we've seen with that. Kevin deserves, all the credit. Really, he did all the work. We're just kind of helping promote it.
Eternal glory is what Kevin.
Eternal glory shall be yours. So, but
he is now forever in the annals of history.
Annals. Oh gosh,
or annals, whatever.
I think it's annals.
Yeah, I know. I like annals better.
Okay,
but yeah.
On that note, let's go back to Poe.
But it really was. It's a great project. Kevin put a lot of work into this. All of us. Brett has his series. I have mine. We have Kevin's. We have ones we've done together. We really do as creators. We really pour a part of our soul into our projects, and all creators, whether you're painters or illustrators or produce movies, we put a part of our soul into these. So it's really nice and rewarding to see when it's received well by people. So we want to thank you so much. If you haven't filled out your survey yet and you were a sponsor, please go to your email, maybe search for Poe survey Kickstarter or something like that. Fill it out because Kevin needs to know if you want to do your add-ons like the T-shirt. He's going to need to know your shirt sizes. He's going to have to know all the different details for where to ship to, things like that. So fill it out so he can get your rewards to you.
Yeah, my friend was the one that actually pushed it over 3,000. She let me know that she did the extra $20 so she get the T-shirt, and then
awesome.
we had a couple more after that, which is great. So I told her it was just awesome that she did that, and that. So we got
passing.
Yep.
By passing the 3,000, we got 3 stretch goals.
Yes. I think it's awesome, man. There's so many Kickstarters don't necessarily hit stretch goals, but to hit 3, I think it's just fantastic, and really excited about all that. And I think this is a great launch to this. We've got our next Kickstarter starting soon with Crimson Shadows that all 3 of us are a part of, and it's gonna be the first collaboration through Bardstone. I'm also going to be launching, and I should hopefully have them for Tampa. I'm going to change the screen that I'm sharing, so hold on a minute. I have rebranded and I'm republishing The Adventures of Carl. So he'll be coming back out again. The trade. It's been out of print for several months, and awesome. You see it's still Bardstone is right over there. And then I got the Boomtown Press and BP Creations, which is all mine. But this is another series tied into our Bardstone. Eventually, I want to do another book. I talked about a couple years ago, and I think it's what we're going to do for eventually here when I do the Kickstarter for Carl. It's going to be the Coloring Adventure series book. It's going to have I'm going to get started off with as a coloring book with activities tied into the stories, and then eventually we'll reprint it where I fully color it or work with someone to fully color it. But that's the story I want to do. I've got a couple stories with that I want to tell in it, and make it a nice little almost anthology of Carl stories. So it'll be fun.
Awesome. So did you? I missed it. Did you say that will be available for Tampa?
I should have it for Tampa. I'm waiting for the proof just to make sure I didn't. I got to see I want to see a physical copy first. So I printed it off to send to me so I can make sure everything's fine. As long as it looked good digitally, but I want to make sure I didn't forget anything.
Correct. Because sometimes too, like I know with my own stuff too, like it can look great on the screen, but sometimes in print it's too dark, or colors are off, so you might have to fine tune. So always good to get a proof copy first.
Yes, so I definitely am waiting on that. Hopefully I'll have that this week, and then the same day I get it, probably the same day I order and take at least 25 copies with me to Tampa, and then I can order more for future shows.
For Tampa.
Yeah,
I'm so excited for Tampa.
You got your flight coming in. Kevin and I, we right away when we messaged, said first thing we're gonna do is hit the Colombian there over at the museum. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to wait a couple hours for Scott to get in because he's behind us a little bit.
You can go without me. It's okay. We'll be there for 5 days. I'm sure I'll have another chance for a Colombian.
We'll wait for you. Which is not a big deal.
Go there for lunch. There for lunch, and then we go there for dinner.
Yeah. Actually, by the time we get in, we get checked in hotel. We'll probably go over and see if we can get stuff dropped off and do that first, and then kind of do a little bit of a setup and go from there. But I'm excited about Tampa.
For Tampa.
Even though we had the Great Lakes back in February, this is kind of like the first show of the year again, and we get a chance to launch that.
Definitely the first major one. I mean, Great Lakes Comic-Con is a local show, and I absolutely love it. It's always my kickoff for the year, and it gets me kind of in the mode for the rest of the year. But with the break we've had, it feels like this is the start of the year now. It feels like that was last year.
Yeah, it really does. It feels like definitely a long time. It's weird because I'm so used to by now I've kind of be in show mode a little bit, so I'm working. Going
usually we're like 6-8 shows into the year already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of crazy. So
kind of good with us doing lunch and dinner.
And we'll do that. We'll probably be hungry when we get in. So
go ahead. Don't wait on me.
Of course, there's the Colombian at the airport too. So we can get off the plane, walk right in there.
I can eat there and then text a photo to you, so it's like we're eating together.
No, I figured we'd go eat there and just wait on you and then go over together. But so I'm excited about that. It's gonna be fun. And our friends from T-24 should be there. Looking forward to seeing them. It's funny because last year at Tampa, I had a lot of fans that come up to this table were like, "Oh, you're gonna be here next year." I told them I don't think so because it was falling weird with the way the shows went. And I still got to post it up on the website and all that stuff. I'm gonna be there, but we're excited about it. It's unfortunate how because I'm really bummed the shows we were supposed to do didn't happen. I know. But we got Tampa,
even Denver, which we we thought Denver had a second life, and then now it's not. So
yeah, the state of Colorado decided that the convention center, they're going to hold on to that in reserve through the end of the year, just to make sure no second wave hits there and they don't need it for space. So back in next May, I will be at Denver. I know Kevin will be, and we're waiting to hear on Motor City to see if Scott's going to be doing Bardstone at Motor City or if he's going to be with us in Denver.
Well, yeah, because this year they'll be, well, next year, 2021, they're going to be the same weekend, which never has happened before.
Well, and that's based on the fact that it's after Mother's Day. Now, Mother's Day weekend is Indiana Comic-Con, so it's going to be and probably the weekend before that will be Gem City. So it's going to be a busy few weeks in there as we continue to promote and launch Bardstone and move on as we're getting out there for some of our classic shows. I like to call them, ones that I've done that for years and that. So
yeah,
but it's going to be fun in
definitely.
that. So, but yeah, but you know, we definitely got Poe coming out for you guys. Hopefully if everything works, I think Kevin's going to try to have some at Tampa as well. But our next scheduled show after that is going to be Cincinnati Comic Expo, and we'll definitely have more of a presence of Bardstone there, and looking forward to that. And Monroe Comic Con, I know Kevin and I are scheduled to be there, and we'll definitely be doing that. As I've been promoting through Boomtown Press a little bit, I'm going to be winding down the fan art. It's not going to have offered like I've done before. If I do anything, it's going to be very limited fan art anymore. And most of it's going to be, I'm promoting books and things I do tied around my characters and the characters I'm working on through the Bardstone.
Right.
So
nice. Yeah. Same here. I'm like, even Tampa, I might not even bother bringing my art there. I'd rather leave more space for our books and things like that and promote that than
I'll be bringing some art.
I'll probably bring a very,
yeah, all the art I'm bringing is stuff I had bought to take to a couple of the shows anyway. So I've got some of the metal prints. I've got some regular prints. I'm not printing anything new for the show print wise. Re-releasing the Carl there is going to be great. I got to get the scabs finished like I've been talking about forever, and I will. And I'm going to try to launch that for Cincinnati. I'm thinking probably with that one, I'm not sure if we'll do a Kickstarter with that or just go, but I haven't decided yet. We might. I personally would like to just have it physically available, and because it's something I'm just trying to finish up and then go from there. So we'll talk about that more.
Very cool. Yeah, so I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
So this past week, did you catch the Disney Gallery where they covered the Baby Yoda?
Yes, I did. I had to think for a second. Yes,
that was fun.
God, I love that.
I know,
series.
Doesn't that seem so long ago? It was Friday.
It's been you get caught up in everything going on and that stuff, and I worked a lot this weekend again, and but I loved it. I'm loving this series so much because I've always loved behind the scenes. That's one of the things I loved about when DVDs first came out and Laserdiscs is they had behind the scenes stuff. Director's commentaries, things like that. I love seeing that stuff and always have and always will. But I love seeing how they did it. And they talked about in there stuff that we read about online that Werner Herzog said, you got to keep the puppet. Don't be afraid to don't CGI him out.
Well, I like how he called them cowards.
Yeah.
Like, you are cowards. You must, you have to embrace the baby.
Yeah. Well, he was given the puppet acting tips and telling him what he should do. Yeah. And the puppeteer's down here going, okay, thanks.
Well, and part of what I think that was intentional though, to help, because he said something like, don't break the magic, keep it going and believe in it or something like that. I forget what the quote was, but it's like, if you believe that this baby is real, they will believe it, Well,
and it worked. I mean, from the second episode when you really see him and you see the baby, you see the child, and it's, you fall in love with the whole thing because it brought you right back to Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back when using a puppetry and practical effects and things like that. And it actually adheres to what Lucas had been quoted as saying in the 70s is that your movie shouldn't be all special effects. Special effects should enhance the story.
What I also like is Favreau saying how it was a small part, but if you caught it, I thought it was cool. They do have a CGI version of the baby, the child, as they call it now. But they set the limitations of the CGI model so it can only do what the puppet can do.
Right.
So if the puppet can't do it, the CGI model can't do it. And I thought that was very wise to do. Because otherwise it all of a sudden doesn't look right when like, wait, the motion's all different and everything. So I
yeah,
like
they
that
didn't give it
did
all
that
kinds of more
too.
stuff it could do. They kept it within that realm of what they could create within the puppet, and that was great. I
Right.
loved it. I'm glad they stuck that route and went that way. Now, speaking of the child, I wanted to talk about this. I watched Empire Strikes Back for the 40th anniversary last week because last week or week before, and something that Yoda says has me kind of thinking about this, and I'm wondering if they've really caught this a little bit. He mentions, he's 900 years old. I don't know if we ever got a definitive actual age of him, but he said he had been training Jedi for 800 years. So if the child is 50, as they established,
Right.
how much more is he going to grow up in the next 50 years to start training Jedi?
Yes, that I did notice that. Yes, because it does raise a question like, how do they grow? What's their like? Do they just stay babies for 50 years, then whoop, they go through puberty?
Well, and that's the thing. It's
And
like he's a 50-year-old child, and it's like, okay, if he took 50 years to get to be basically what I would appear to be like 2 years old, what's going to happen there? So.
Now, one potential explanation they used for Chewie's age, which you could use with Yoda, is because part of Chewie's age, it's off depending on what source you use by a couple years. And the explanation they said was, when you get to be 500 years old, you kind of start rounding. So like Yoda saying he's 900 years old, he could be 940, 950. Yeah, he's just rounding at
Yeah.
At some point, you stop saying I'm 2.5, or you don't say I'm 36 and a half years old.
Yeah, I'm 48 and 3/4. Yay!
I'm 40. Yeah, exactly. So it could be Yoda actually is rounding his age, and he only talks about his age in centuries. I don't know.
Yeah, he's probably more towards 1,000 or whatever, but it's
he's
interesting.
Just old.
Yeah. So I just always found that funny, and I saw that I was like, yes, I forgot he said he'd been training Jedi for 800 years, and it's just a little quip, talking about and it might have been actually an Empire. I think it was actually Jedi. It was Return of Jedi. He said that because I watched Jedi right after Empire, so. He's probably where he said that before he died and all that. But it's always funny. I don't know. I still love it. I love everything they're doing with The Mandalorian. And this, I hope they continue this series, and not just with The Mandalorian, but I'd love to see it with other series they bring on to show how they created certain things and continue on. And I think it just helps build the magic.
I assume that's the goal because it's labeled Disney Gallery. It's not labeled Star Wars Gallery or Lucasfilm Gallery. By calling it Disney Gallery, I think it gives them the freedom to focus on whether it's Marvel or one of their movies or whatever else it is.
Right.
I think this is really just meant to be like the behind the DVD content. It's just now it's streaming content instead of DVD content.
Right. So I love it. I love this stuff. I always have, and I will definitely continue to enjoy this. We've got a few more episodes left. I think it's only 8 for the season. And we'll see what they do next with that. And of course, as we know, Mandalorian's coming back in the fall. They've already guaranteed it's done, and they've been able to work during the COVID to finish up all the special effects they need to finish up in that. So it's cool. And I did love seeing the actress that plays what's his name? I'm blanking. I Have Spoken guy. So
the
Ugnaught.
Quill.
Quinn or something like that. Yeah. So.
Quill, I think it is.
Yeah.
But anyways, it's amazing how much that whole prosthetics is all mechanical and everything, and it looks so lifelike. And then you have the actress who is inside the body doing all the body motion, but then you have like one guy who's doing eyebrows, one guy doing mouth. It's amazing how all these puppeteers coordinate for a single performance. And even with Baby Yoda, there was a lot.
And they had all of Nick Nolte's dialogue already recorded, so it was all ready to go.
Right. And
that worked. They just said, no, okay, this is where we're at, and she just did everything to go along with it. So she was acting with it, and when you're watching this thing, I didn't realize how much how it just works so seamlessly. You just forget that it's actually probably 8 people making this one character.
Yeah, it's quite amazing. Now, Nick Nolte, they didn't really get into that part, but did they cast his face as the base for Quill? I feel
it feels like it. Yeah.
Does it look? It feels like it looks like him under that, doesn't it?
I think.
Or am I imagining it?
No, I thought that from the beginning because I'm like, okay, I knew it was Nick Nolte, and I was like, oh, maybe he's, they CGI'd him or something. I thought that at first, like maybe they motion captured him, but they don't do any motion capture. It's all practical. and
Right.
and that, but yeah, I think when they modeled the outfit, they threw a little bit of his looks into the way the cheeks are and brow and stuff like that, and it just added so much to the character.
Yeah. Let's see. Star Wars. What is it? Quill. I think it was Quill.
Yep. Oh, speaking of Star Wars, on a separate note, did you see the new Black Series of figures coming out of the Rebels? They got all new boxes.
I did. I also noticed they changed the style of the artwork.
Yes, and they came
So
out
I
with
found
they come out now. They have everybody. I'm actually looking at this going, crap. I'm gonna have to buy these. These are awesome.
I'm wondering though,
Send money to my
behind the
PayPal.
scenes, I'm wondering if the change was because of just to have a change. Where I follow the artist who does all of the Black Series art, and every day he's posting. He hates. He has so many complaints about Lucasfilm and how their licensing department works, and not that I have nearly the experience as he has, but I went through it with my stuff with it too, and it really is nothing but an absolute nightmare work. They got a lot of just a bunch of morons working at Lucasfilm, and I don't care if they know I said that. They know nothing about Star Wars. When Disney bought it, they kicked out the old people and put in their people who I swear never saw Star Wars. Anyways, he's constantly griping about the trials of dealing with these people, and I'm just wondering, like, is this change of artwork because they're tired of him, or is it just a change?
I like the change. I think it's instead of having just a black box. I understand the Black Series why they called it that, but and then I like the fact that the box is sideways. You've got all the characters. I'm thinking, wow, you know what? I would take all the figures out of the box because I'm not worried about having mint in the box, but I'd have the boxes sideways. It's all one picture, and then have them all together.
I did like that. I like how they're doing it as like a series. It's the whole crew.
Yep.
Which is great too for collectors because now you can maybe you like to be a semi-completist where you want certain subsets but you don't need everything. Well, this gives you a subset to target.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I'm excited about. And GameStop has it for $135.
That's not bad because there's what is there 8 of them? How many are there?
There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you got Zeb, and that's like $40 off. Oh my gosh. It comes out August 1st. Well, happy birthday to me. Yeah, I'll share the screen real quick. So yeah, check this out. That's what we're talking about, guys. And there's the new Zeb figure. He was not available before. And I've never really seen these figures, the ones that were before, in the wild, as like to call it, and stuff like that. So and I can get some miles too. But yeah, that's kind of cool. So definitely be checking that out myself. So yeah, it's like the different figures. I see the different ones for sale for around $20. Entertainment Earth's got them. So I'll be looking around and see who's got a good deal on these. Yeah, it's Ahsoka's like limited edition, it sounds like, and or the series is limited edition. So I'm definitely something I have to just order. Oh, check this out. This is I'll share this one too, and then they got a new Vader one, and there's the new Vader package with him on the side there. So
ooh, I want that to go against Ahsoka.
That'd be cool. So,
yeah, that'd be really nice. Now, Steve Bloom is the voice of Zeb that you mentioned in there. Yeah. He's done a huge amount of voice work and stuff. I'm trying to think though. He wasn't in what is it, Farscape. He wasn't the voice of. He wasn't the guy. I think that's a different actor. I'm trying to remember. Anyways, but he also plays the Emperor in Star Wars Rebels. I didn't know that.
I didn't either.
He does a ton of voices. It looks like Thundercats. The Goblins animated TV series that's coming up. He has a great voice. I love the voice of Zeb.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
done Young Justice for DC, Marvel Alliance. He's like everywhere. It's amazing how many voices this guy does.
Yeah.
It's funny how these actors are like so common everywhere, but we have no idea who they are. Unless you're
I know a lot of the names because I really pay attention to the animated actors and actresses and that, and try to get to know who they are a little bit more. And met quite a few because of the Comic-Cons is always really great. So, But it's it's definitely they're lost on people that don't know who these people are, and they're great actors and actresses themselves. People don't realize that voiceover work isn't about just creating the sound of that voice; it's actually acting. You got to have something with that.
Oh yeah.
And I always refer people to Rob
700
Paulson's podcast.
He has 774 credits on IMDb.
Oh wow! Yeah,
That's a little bit of work.
Here's a couple more. IGN talking about they got the new Ahsoka Tano, Mandalorian, all them getting all new stuff. They've even got.
What's really amazing with these characters is also, have you seen? I wish I could do this. Have you seen the people who will buy like the black figures and they'll strip all that paint off that you're looking at there and then repaint them? They look so lifelike. Like the scans are perfect and the moldings are perfect. It's the paint jobs that sometimes make them look bad. And when these people who are insanely talented with the painting redo them, they look real.
Yeah, they do, and it's fantastic. I know our friend Rack, he does old toys, like old marks and old and stuff, and the paintings he does on those are fantastic. And he'll sell those on eBay all the time. And that, but yeah, there's the Ahsoka one. I like the articulation they got going on and things like that. They got her with the dual lightsabers. And and that, so
one long, one short, just like in the series.
Yep. There's Chopper in that, so and he's got the different
Chopper
add-ons and things like that. So
get to the chopper.
Yeah. Oh, he's even got the fire. That's kind of cool. So, but yeah. So it's
after Taco Bell.
Yeah. I do like the series, the Black series. I've not really bought much. I bought the Probe Droid here recently, and that's about what I bought. And then you got Clone Wars. So they're coming out with a whole series. So here's like the Clone Trooper one, the Clone Wars, and you can tell by the coloring too. The coloring's a little different for each series. And there's the Empire Strikes Back series with Vader, and then I have the Luke, and then you've got the Rebels series that we were talking about. Yeah, I this is stuff I love in that. I love the fact they gave him the this lightsaber gun thing, and you've got your Mandalorian there. So yeah, the Heavy Trooper, and they're re-releasing him. They're re-releasing the other ones too.
Yeah,
that's what I was looking to see if they've got.
These are all fun. I love these guys. They're the nice in between size. They're about 6 inches tall, so you don't get like I love the 12-inch figures. Yeah, but they get costly, especially the ones that look really, really good from Sideshow.
But, the Sideshow stuff is crazy expensive. So here's another Stormtrooper from the Mandalorian Stormtrooper. That's cool. And but I like the size. It's like the He-Man figures were around this size, the 6 inches, and they were always nice because you could grip them just right. I mean, I like the little figures too, and they're coming out with some of the smaller like Mandalorian and stuff like that in the 3.5 inch, which is always a nice little size too. But I like the 6 inch. When I was a kid, when you had like He-Man and stuff like that, just because there's more you could do with them. And there he is.
Right.
Mandalorian. He's got the best scar. Looks really good.
Yeah, that's the updated armor. So now I got to get that because I got the old outdated armor.
So, yeah, definitely.
That's the thing. That was funny with the Mandalorian, how, like, the only photos released were the original armor in episode 1. So everyone spent months hurrying up, getting everything done for their costume. And then already by episode 2, it was starting to get outdated. He was replacing different pieces. It was like all this hard work to look like him, and it was gone. And by episode 5 or whatever,
right?
It's like, okay,
yeah. So that's always funny on that. So I thought it was hilarious, but I love the classic armor. I hope people that the costumers keep that first armor and we see them at shows, and then let them do the best card. I think if you're a cosplayer, I would show up on a Friday or Saturday wearing the classic armor, and then the next day come in the best scar. Yeah, if you have the means to do that. So
I like that.
Yeah.
Where there's a will, there's a way, right?
Yes, definitely. So, but this thing, and Scott and I talked about. Scott used to be a big toy collector. I know you had a collection for a long time, and
I had back in the day. Then I became an artist and had to severely limit my resources. But I had a huge collection in my basement, walls and shelves, and I had the ships all hanging on fish lines in the basement and set up in scenes and. It was crazy, but I kind of over the years I sold off most of that stuff, and then switch to costuming now. But I do like I'll get these Black Series ones every now and then. I don't collect them all, but the ones I really like, I'll grab. So I only have like a dozen of those, but I don't really buy like I used to. But if I really had the money, I would be in trouble with Sideshow Collectibles because those are what I love. Those 12-inch figures and setups they have.
That was fun last year in San Diego, walking through the Sideshow area and seeing all that stuff up close like that. And the
that is
quality.
Always my favorite spot in the show for San Diego Comic-Con is their booth every year. And it's not just their Star Wars stuff. I love their DC, their Marvel. It's just so beautiful, the attention to detail they do on everything.
Oh, the quality was great. I loved it. I enjoyed it so much. I think I walked through that every day at a couple times just to check it out. And
see, this is why I can't trust Bill Gates. I can't ever trust Bill Gates. How does he have this much wealth and money, and he doesn't own every Sideshow collectible toy?
He's a nerd. He's not a geek.
Come on.
There's a difference.
With that kind of money, you should have like a whole wing of the house where it's the Star Wars Enterprise bridge with or Star Trek Enterprise bridge with your Star Trek collectibles, and then you got your Death Star room with all your Star Wars. That's what you need. When you have that much money, come on.
Yeah, if you had that much money,
room.
You want to build a house that would actually be the interior would be like the complete Death Star, no handrails. Just you could fall off and die because I built a big house. You know,
with that kind of money, you could dig yourself a real bat cave.
Yes, exactly.
Have a pole you slide down with a little head that pops open with the switch.
Yeah, we should hear out of Seattle all the time about some strange flight in the air of some bat-looking thing and that stuff. Right. So
I would so do that. Oh, yeah. Just he doesn't even know the opportunities he's lost out on.
I know.
Oh well.
Oh well. Hey, we're getting close to 11 o'clock here.
Maybe that's why I'm not the world's richest man, because that's what I would spend it on. I don't know.
Well, you were rich. What do you got? I have toys.
Yeah.
I built life-size toys. I have all the Batmobiles. I can drive them. You know, here's my bat plane. Here's my bat.
My story was I had money and then I became a professional artist.
Yeah.
Starving artist is a real thing.
Yes, it really is. So
people only want to pay money for your stuff after you die.
Well, yeah, it's usually how it goes. They want to steal it while you're alive. I'll just take a picture of it. Click.
Yeah,
that was good. Yes, thank you. You did good work. Keep up the good work. That'll feed you never.
I'll hashtag this so other people get your exposure.
Oh yeah, yeah. I got my other room over there is full of exposure.
Yeah. Love it.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Can you believe it's already 11?
I know. We kind of talked the hour away as usual. So
Yep, talk the hour away. But anything else on your end, Brett?
Nothing right now. Definitely we'll be back next week live and talk about some more fun stuff. I know we're both you're back heavy in real estate. Looking forward to restaurants opening next week and eventually being able to get out and actually enjoy a meal that I'm not cooking or bringing home. I can actually sit somewhere and enjoy it. Oh. I'm actually going to try to visit the places I like to go beforehand so I can actually tip the actual waiters I like and waitresses. So we'll see how it goes. And I'm 3 weeks away from heading out of town for a little bit and getting a little break from life. I'm looking forward to that. And then we've got Tampa coming up. So it's going to be a busy month here for us at Odd Musings, Bardstone, and everything else. We're looking forward to that. Yeah. And got a lot of cool stuff, guys. Keep joining in with us every week. Anybody who's watching the show wants to join in live. We're always 10 a.m. Eastern time. Let us know. You can comment, say, hey, send me a link. We'll send you a private link and you can join us on the video thing and hang out with us. We're like Sammy Castillo did from Castillo Studios. We've had Kevin with us from Kevin Minert and that. So it's always available if anybody wants to join us and see what's going on and hang out and chime in and just have fun. So I guess I think that's about it. You got anything else, Scott?
That's it. Just everybody stay safe, stay smart this weekend. Make the world a better place. Don't tear it down.
Yeah, as my new quote's going to be, don't lose your damn minds anymore. Have a great day, everybody.